I see you. Hello. I said I wasn't going to get up. That's a lie. And we'll have to find out if Kat ever watches this.
He used to get hurt by all the girls. They try his world for just a season.
It's been going for a while. I went to Spunks last night.
Yeah.
And she introduced me to a song. It's like a kid's song about what kind of cat. And then it's like, what kind of cat lives in a barn? A barn cat. What kind of cat likes to sail? A catamaran. More and more ridiculous. So the answer to one of them is catechism.
Oh no.
No.
Okay. Oh, it's going already. When did you start? Silly machine.
I didn't start it. I did notice it was going though.
I didn't hit the button. That's okay.
You might find some fun things.
Hi. Yeah. Well, I was just wishing that we had pushed go before you told me that funny story, because it seems appropriate for all of this.
Yeah. No, you did.
Welcome to our first ever episode with Kat and Wax, which I think should be called the Derby Sisters instead of Librophiliac Knits.
Knitting across borders.
Yeah, there we go. I was so bummed about Off the Cuff. I looked up Off the Cuff on YouTube, and if you decide to do such a thing, you will discover that it's all cop YouTubes. I was thinking it would be cuff, but no, wrong kind of cuff. Disappointing.
I thought maybe it would be like leather cuffs.
Hey, actually,
Oh,
I
you
just
do.
remembered. Keep going.
Cuffs and collars.
Look, I'm off the.
You're
off the
unafraid.
screen.
Drink.
Where did I put it? Oh, there. So
That's
that
not
it doesn't
sponsored,
matter
so
if-
I didn't want to show the brand. while I was drinking
I'm not sponsored by anything. I did get fancy. You talked me into these. So
Oh,
you
I'm
get
not
to wear
shocked
one.
to learn that I did.
You just pinch it on anywhere.
Do you have to test if it's working?
No, you're just gonna go for it.
Okay.
The question is, I've never plugged it in while the video is going, so we'll see if it freaks out.
Hello. Testing.
What do you think, machine?
1, 2, cheese.
Hello.
Who was it? Oh, Stompy sent me
I
a
think
video
so.
today.
Here, just in case.
Stompy sent me a video today
Yeah.
of it's Tim Minchin with like an orchestra, and he just periodically says cheese.
Who's Tim Minchin?
I'm not entirely certain.
Okay.
He looks a little bit like was it Riff or Raff from Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Oh,
Someone will know who Tim Minchin is.
okay.
I do not. It just said Tim Minchin on the thing.
That's
how-
fun.
I thought maybe you would know because I am not the pop culture person.
I've been to Rocky Horror once in the 1990s, and I've seen the movie like once maybe since then.
What?
So I am surprisingly not well, and I have a shirt about it because we found it at the thrift store, and it mentioned my high school years after I had gone there did Rocky Horror for their Pops concert, which would have scandalized the parents when I was going there. And then, Glee did it. So Bree's obsessed with it because Glee did it.
And because it's fabulous.
It's great.
Okay. Well, at some point we're going to go to a live show where they do like the audience interaction.
Yeah, that's the kind I did. It's so
Okay,
much fun.
yes.
Yes.
I've never actually done
Oh,
like full out. And we're going to get dressed up like we
Yes.
did for the ballet.
100%.
Okay.
More than we did for the ballet.
It took me like 20 minutes to get into that dress.
I know, but we're gonna pick a person from the movie to dress up as.
Yeah, we're going to do a fancy dress.
It might not require 20 minutes to get into a dress, but it might require a weird wig.
And maybe fishnets.
Absolutely.
Probably.
I'm a big fan of the fishnets. So, are we going to do YouTube-y things? Hello. We could just talk at each other the whole time.
We might just talk at each other.
Just hang
the
out.
whole time.
So this is like the farewell tour. Wax is moving
This
back
is
to
my
Canada.
encore. I went away. I came back for a week.
Yeah, the encore. But YouTube-wise, debut.
Everything's full circle, right?
Yeah, just got to bring it around.
Every ending is an opening.
I'm so... Whoa.
Right. No.
Sounded dirty.
Yep.
It's-
I didn't mean that.
It was like a dirty Ouroboros.
Talk about cuffs and collar. Pet snake. What would be the equivalent? Because like you have furries, but I don't think a snake can really be a furry. So if you wanted to dress up as a snake, would you be a scaly?
Probably just say Slytherin
Uh,
these days, unfortunately. Yeah, what the word for snake is like something that starts with H, like almost sounds like haberdashery, isn't it? Hepatur.
I thought that was like
This is where it gets fun because my phone is the camera.
turtles.
So
Do you really want me to look it up?
to
or is it more-
download.
Or can you just put it across the bottom?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
You can look it
We'll
up
find
later.
out then.
It'll be fun.
And maybe that name would make a good kid's name.
Yeah. Yes. Baby
is-
name wise.
It is the year of the snake.
It is.
So
I did just find my book of 10,000 baby names if you wanted to look at it.
God.
It
I
was
feel like
not inspiring the first few times through.
there's too many options. I don't think I
Yes.
need more.
No, fewer.
Yeah.
Or fewer that are more meaningful.
It's like going to a restaurant and there's like a 16-page menu.
Right.
And you're like,
You're
well,
just like, well, I don't feel like soup, so that's out.
yeah. But then
And that,
no matter what you get, you feel like there could be something better.
Yeah.
Because there were just so many options. The chances that you picked the best option.
oh, and
are
that you'll still be
slim.
happy with it by the time you see 5 other people get their menu option
Yes.
and then yours shows up.
This is why I like sharing amongst or buffets.
Mhm.
Buffets are great.
I actually hate buffets, but it's
Is it a germ thing?
the people.
Oh.
I don't, and which is weird because I love people watching, but I think it's also like a classist problem.
The classist problem?
I am the classist problem. I was not introduced to buffets until I went to like the dregs of society buffets, and so the food wasn't good. It was like it was all dried out and sad, and like the pickings were slim, and all the people there were depressing. So I was like, "What is this, and why are we supposed to enjoy this?" Because
Yeah.
it was, you know, like my parents are all about paying a little extra for something really enjoyable and doing it rarely. I mean, even to the point of making McDonald's a special treat when we were children. My dad always referred to it as
that's paying
McPoots. It's not
a little
spa-
bit extra for something very
but
special.
you know, like they have a skill for holding out, like, or making you hold out whether you want to or not. So as small children, that was the most exciting. But like as like teens, we went to Buca a lot. Buca, and you know, you got to see kind of the
went there,
stripped down version, but it used to be like even more over the top, loud Italian music, and
Oh.
much like, you know, big Italian family style, the eating, but also the atmosphere in terms of being loud and like funny, and they would bring you a cake with a pope or a nun on it when it was your birthday and like sing to you, and you know, just cacophonous, fantastic and expensive and delicious.
I definitely grew up with buffets. My parents taught me to get a little bit of everything because I couldn't ever eat enough that like it was worth it, other than the fact that to prep all those different things for a family of 3 would have been so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where my problem with like wanting multiple options
Sure.
starts, because it's like, no,
Well,
I
just
don't
want to try a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
That makes
I don't want a
sense.
lot of anything. I want a little bit of everything.
That was how I was introduced to sushi.
Yes.
My friend Courtney took me to sushi, and we just ordered off the order 2 of each thing
yeah,
off
yeah.
of the the taster menu or whatever, and we just got a table full of tiny plates and one. We each got to try one of each thing. It was great.
Canada has all you can eat sushi as like just a very common thing. It's pretty rare here.
Yeah, harder to come by.
Kyoto does it, but not many other places.
Yeah.
Speaking of sponsorships, Kyoto.
Delicious.
So good. But yeah, so
please call me anytime. I would love to live off of all you can eat sushi.
When I was little, I thought the key to world peace was free sushi for everyone.
I love that was what you had come up with.
I was trying to solve the world's problems. But because when you're really full from sushi, you're just tired. So no one would want to fight because they'd be full of sushi.
Obviously.
Yep.
Oh.
All
I
right.
don't think I spent my childhood thinking about the key to world peace. What a jerk I was. I certainly hadn't figured out that sushi was the way.
I haven't gotten to test it yet, but
No. Okay,
we could
you
try
ready?
to test it. Yeah.
What are we gonna? Should we do first? Have you finished anything lately that you're excited to talk about? Even if you don't have it here, you can send me a picture.
Ooh, have I finished anything lately? No. I absolutely have not.
No,
I packed.
You sure that was complete?
I moved to Canada.
You packed your whole apartment.
Yep.
You did not have any time for knitting or crochet.
I did not have a lot of time for knitting or crochet. No, it's true.
Did you listen to fun audiobooks on your 12-hour drive? How long does it take you?
It's about 12.
Yeah,
12
GPS
to
said
13.
12.
It depends on the border.
I started looking.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Plots and schemes.
I'm currently listening to Nona the Ninth.
Yes. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So
Which I'm
good.
very near the end of. And then just today, Sleep Like Death by Kaylin Bayron.
Okay. I don't know that one.
She's an amazing Black author that retells fairy tales. Yeah. So I
do know her.
I think Sleep Like Death is supposed to be Snow White because the cover has the apple. So
that makes sense. Yeah, that was the one. This Twisted Fate was the one that I read and talked to you about.
Yeah.
And she also wrote Cinderella is Dead, which is in my holds list.
Yes. So I read Cinderella's Dead, but it just became available on Libby today. And I was like, perfect, because I drive back on Sunday.
Perfect.
So that is my listening plan for the way back.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am currently listening to Leather and Lark, which is the second in this series that I started with Butcher and Blackbird, which is like a serial killers fall in love story.
What romantasy.
And then Leather and Lark, it's the best friend and the brother of the first two. And the best friend is secretly also a serial killer, has taken after her buddy. And the brother is a cleaner.
Like post-serial killer cleaner?
Yeah, for the mob kind of thing. So
it's nice when you can go home and talk about work and your significant other understands what you're talking about.
I don't think they've gotten to that point yet, but I'm excited for it. There's still a lot of miscommunication. This one is a marriage of convenience trope.
Oh.
The first one was a really slow burn, they were having a competition, which was kind of fun.
Was it like Friends to Enemies or Enemies to Friends?
Yeah.
I want to see it go the other way too, Friends to Enemies. That one's going to work out.
That seems like it should happen more often because that's closer to reality. How about, I think about that a lot, writing a book from sort of where I'm at right now of this, it's a little bit like Romeo with Rosalind, right? This sort of the casting off of the previous and then looking towards the new.
Yeah.
Not because I'm real excited about being Romeo and Juliet, dear God, but just that Kobe watches these.
Hi. Anytime I think about Romeo and Juliet, I'm just so grateful not to be a teenager anymore. That's really what happens with
Seriously.
that.
Oh my God, I was so hard up. That's how my teen years were. And it was right when Romeo and Juliet with Leo
Oh,
and Claire Danes, right? Came
Yeah.
out. Oh my gosh.
yes, that one was Claire Danes.
And it was so good.
Yeah.
And
I must have
so
watched
impossible. We
that
watched it
bedroom scene so many
a
times.
million times.
Yeah.
I loved Mercutio in that movie is the best.
Oh, yeah, with the Queen Mab speech.
Yes.
So good. I actually think the Queen Mab speech is one of my favorite Shakespeare monologues in general.
I did so much Shakespeare in high school and college, and then I got away from it. I've never really gone back, and I feel like now would be a good time in my life to start delving into all the depressing ones, all the history plays, and
I feel like
I might have some time to dig around and
well, when you come visit,
King
I'm
Henry
pretty
III
sure
or
I
whatever.
have the complete works of William Shakespeare.
Oh, I definitely do.
Oh, of course you do.
I do.
Can you put that on your bingo card?
What, reading the complete works?
Yeah.
I guess.
The complete
Do you want to
works
see
of
my bingo
something?
card? Here,
Yes.
Oh wait, none
So-
of my bingo cards are for reading right now. Here, I have 2 of them so far, but I'll have to make one for reading. The next,
Do your viewers know about your?
my bingo
Bingo
card
card
obsession. I
and-
did talk about it. I finished yesterday. Here, I'm off the screen again. Everybody drink.
Oh, this is a fiber related one.
I finished the bingo card. Do. Complete blackout, my friends. Do you know what that means? I get a sticker, and
You got a sticker.
I get a sticker. That was just for getting 1 square, which means they're willing to give it to anybody because there's a free square. But I get a sticker. I get entry into a drawing for something. And then the last one is if you get the blackout, 20% off. So now I'm making a list of things I'm going to buy.
Yeah. Is it 20% off one item or the entire shopping trip
I
up
think
to
it
a
might-
certain amount?
I think it's the second one.
Ooh.
I should double check, but I had until April 13th to get it done, and now it's still March.
Yeah.
So I get.
Are they going to come up with another bingo?
But I just
after?
was so obsessed. I was like, I should make myself more bingo cards and see if I can continue to be
And
obsessive.
so-
And so this was born. Here, I can.
I'm not going to let you read it.
I was going to say I can insert a picture that is still in there for longer.
Oh, I mean, if you want to be polite about it.
I mean, basically, I'm trying to encourage myself to get finished the things that I have been working on forever that have been stalling.
Very vague. Block something.
Yeah, sometimes they're easy.
Anything.
This one, for example, this sweater. I finished this sweater. It is my reluctant homeschooler. It has all of the buttons. I even took this button off and re-sewed it on so that it was further over to the side. It is so tall. It's really long. It's got 4 ginormous buttons.
Do you ever think about adding like the button ribbon stuff to keep it from poofing? Did that
I
make
haven't
any
ever
sense to
done
you?
that.
Okay.
But that's not a bad idea. Would you do that more on the buttonhole side or the button side?
On the buttonhole side. So like
Ah,
you
that I
can
haven't
run
done.
it down that side and then it'll keep this from becoming
So
yeah.
pronouncedly. Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
I speak
I
like an
would've-
expert. I have yet to put a button on anything I've knitted. But
But you
I
know,
know
the
these
concept.
things.
You know the concept.
I get the concept.
That's good. So
Also, you have Eileen on here twice.
yeah, one is for the sleeve.
That's
and
a
one
lot
is
of
for
encouragement.
the whole sweater. I am trying so hard to not do that, and I need to. Every time I see Gina, I'm like, why haven't I done this? Yeah, I'm ashamed of myself, and she does not care, but I care. She's like, oh, if you don't want to do it ever, don't worry about it. It just sat in that box for years, and I'm like, that's not the point.
She's now annoyed that you keep bringing it up every time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But every time I see her, it just like it just grinds the tiny little
Okay.
axe in my brain even worse.
What's no DRK?
No, Dre Renee knits.
Oh,
I'm
ridiculous. And I needed to take a break from her. All I was thinking about was all of her patterns. And I have a million of them. And yes, I could make them. I'm super excited about her new pattern release, but I'm going to wait for her birthday.
Her birthday.
Her birthday, when she always does a giant sale.
Oh, that's smart.
And
For
then
the record, my favorite one on here is Spin the Rainbow,
spin the rainbow.
because that just sounds amazing.
Yes. And here are look at how far I got in your socks.
Oh yeah, my socks are on here. I didn't know they were going to be my socks.
Yep.
Kat, we were hanging out, knitting, and Kat put them on my feet. And I had assumed it was because she was already wearing socks and didn't want to take them off, rather than because they were for me. I think I just did a little bit of nice ASMR, like right beside the microphone.
So I cast on these socks using some of the yarn that I got from the last textile center garage sale. I used the Fish Lips Kiss Heel again. So it looks so square and goofy. Very nice.
That's the
And-
heel right there.
Mm-hmm. And I was originally
Nailed it.
planning to keep them for myself, but then I wanted to give them to you because there is a whole second skein of similar yarn that I can make myself matchy ones.
Ooh.
And look, I started this sock yesterday. Look how fast I've gone. And I have to work tonight, so
It'll be done,
it will be done
which is good.
the next because you're leaving.
Yeah, you'll see me tomorrow.
Yep.
And then, can you leave the ends not woven in though?
Are you sure?
Yes. That's how you know it's handmade.
Of course I can, if that's what you want.
Oh, so I was watching your last episode with my dad, and you were talking about I think it was your weekender
Yeah.
sweater, and I was like, I bet you she still hasn't woven in the ends. My dad doesn't knit; he has no clue what this means or anything. And then within like 10 seconds of me saying that,
It's like, here
you
they
pulled
are.
the
I actually have done it with this one, which is a small miracle, but not in the pockets. That's
No.
where
I like tying them into pretty little bows in the pockets.
there's a hole. So
just
I
think
need
it
to
adds a little
use more.
something.
I mean, it's not big enough that my phone's going to fall out, and that's the main thing I was concerned about.
Yeah.
Having
But
in my
maybe
pockets,
like a
but
penny,
definitely
dime.
a thin dime. The pattern is called Simon's Socks. It is free. It is a 4-row, very simple to memorize repeat. I'll show you again.
Yeah, Kat's the one who's taking this seriously. I'm doing hand puppets.
Yeah, that's fine. That's how this should always go. Somebody's got to not take it too seriously.
You could put little googly eyes. It'd be on the top.
Yeah. Here, let's see. I don't quite have enough yarn, I think, to finish this, but hello. Now it's a children's show.
Oh, I am always a children's show.
It always asks me, is this for children? And I'm like, not really. Is this like, are children featured in? No. Like,
Nope.
and then various other questions. I do not enjoy. There are a bunch of teenage boys that make YouTube videos where they are not really child appropriate, but they hold a stuffed animal while they're talking so that they can say it's for kids. It's really, and so Jace loves them. Loves them. And they're doing like Minecraft run through stuff most of the time.
Oh,
Or something else that it can be child appropriate,
Yeah.
but there's something about them that's like their manner of speech is real broy, and I don't love that my child wants to emulate them. So then I'm like, put the stuffed animal down and walk away. But you know, they have like 50 million subscribers, so
I don't think
maybe
I'm
I'm
gonna
just
win
jealous.
that battle.
I'm just jealous.
Yours are quality though,
Yes, and I'm not
You
getting
have.
views by holding up my stuffed animal
or your
on
sock.
my sock puppets.
You could.
I totally could.
We did learn a lot about puppeting yesterday.
Yeah.
Was it yesterday when we were talking about Mr. Dress Up and Mr.
Oh,
Rogers?
yes.
Yeah.
We sure did. We were discussing the Canadian 1 year later imitation of Mr. Rogers.
1 year earlier.
Oh, I took it the other way
Yeah, no.
earlier.
So Mr. Rogers, and all of this I just learned yesterday. I'm not some sort of expert. This was the deep dive from yesterday. Mr. Rogers initially had, essentially, it was kind of like a pilot show on a Canadian channel,
Oh, that I misunderstood.
and then
entirely.
it evolved
Mhm.
into Mr. Rogers in the US, but
I
also
have no idea.
we ended up with Mr. Dress Up in Canada, which was a spin-off from a previous show, and the person who played Mr. Dress Up was the understudy for Mr. Rogers on the very initial Canadian pilot.
Okay.
So
I'm getting a skin.
anyways, they almost developed like in tandem.
Oh, and some of their puppets look very similar.
Some of them do.
But it turns out they knew each other.
They
That makes more
work
sense.
together. So the puppeteer.
No.
I wish that was in frame so badly. I don't think you understand.
There's a. I've been playing with this with my toe.
And it went right towards the camera.
I'm so glad nobody died. That would've
Okay.
been
Oh,
bad
that
news
is
for
really
everybody.
close in color, though.
Yes.
Sorry, totally got
You
distracted.
can-
Okay, let's talk about new.
New acquisitions because you bought me presents.
Yes. So in that like 2 weeks I was outside of the US, I went to Fiber Forge, which is a festival in Hamilton, Ontario, and all their stuff is really cheap. If anyone is watching this from any of the booths that were there, you could definitely increase your prices. So because I was so shocked about how cheap it was, and I don't spin, and I never want to again.
She tried.
I tried.
She felt that it was a lot like walking and chewing gum, and not her bit.
It's not my cuppa. That's all. It's just not my cuppa. But I was so
I think I was
excited.
going to say bieg. Not your bieg. Sorry, not your cuppa.
Not my cuppa. There was so much cheap roving though that basically I walked around and just kept buying things for Kat,
Because how can you not?
and she was very
'Cause it's
unhelpfully
so
not answering her phone.
Pretty.
Look at that!
Oh my gosh.
It's called
look.
Purple Rain,
Yeah, and I am
which
a
is very
ridiculous
Minnesota appropriate,
Prince fan. So
and it has little nubs.
I love the little nubs so much. Oh my gosh.
Little nubs.
So pretty. And it's 150 grams of merino and viscose.
Yeah, and it was in a $20 bin, and that's $20 Canadian, so that's like 13 to 15 American.
Oh my gosh.
I was just so excited about all that.
I am so excited about it also because this made my spinning module come back, but I can't figure out where I put my electric spinning wheel, which is what I want to use. I don't know. It's hiding somewhere.
How many different spinning options do you have at this point?
Many. I have 2 functional spinning wheels like this guy. This is a castle wheel. I named her Elsinore because that was
Castle.
because it's a castle, and also that was a family name that was on the list for Chase. My auntie, when I was pregnant with Chase, printed out a list of old family names. Like, here, you can pick from any of
Oh.
these. And Cinderella was on there twice, as was Rambo as a last name.
As a last name, not as a first name.
No.
Were you going to choose a different last name for Chase?
No.
Okay.
I mean, Kobe and I had joked that if we had twins, we could each have one child with our own last name instead of hyphenating. But no twins to be had, so
No.
irrelevant. Yes, this was the one that caught my eye the first because it's so pretty. And then, oh my goodness,
This
it's sparkly.
This is the one that Kat rubbed into her face
Yes.
many, many times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
As did your mom, right? Was that?
Yeah.
It's very soft. It's
sparkly.
Angora, 50% Angora, 50% Merino, and Angelina. 25 grams from Maple Glen Angoras. And it's so fluffy. and sparkly.
That one is the softest for sure of the three.
Yep. And I was spinning this. Look at. I was spinning this, and I don't know if I have more of this or not, but I don't have very much of this. And look how close in color they are. So this could be apply, and this could be apply, and then I would have more of them.
You would
Both.
have 2 plies.
I would have 2 plies and more yarn.
I
than
do
if
math.
Yeah.
1 ply plus 1 ply is 2 plies.
Potentially doubling the length of my yarn. And then last but not least, this one's alpaca.
It is. It's a very pretty
It says
alpaca too.
Ontario wool. I don't know if you can see this, but
I think
it
they
is-
are all Ontario wool.
I mean, that makes it's not really wool anyway, but
Yeah.
it's alpaca.
Ontario made.
But they get a little sticker. It's so cute. It just looks delicious. It's like coffee taffy.
Yeah. It's like a wonderful tricolor blend.
Yes, I like it very much. I am excited to make something pretty out of it. So
I
those,
looked at it and I was like, those are exactly like that is your neutral.
yep.
Your
This is my
earth
neutral.
tone neutrals right there.
And then here's the other half of it.
yeah.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but I just redid
Oh, you
the
did redo it.
the
The purple?
the dyeing, all of it actually. But because
Oh.
I was just gonna do the purple, and then I realized everything else would be super washed out in
Yeah.
comparison. So now I have like a perfect, like Eddie Munster hairline.
No one will notice.
It's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna sweat it all off at the boat tomorrow. It'll just be on my face.
It'll be going down your neck.
Mhm.
You'll have rainbow going down your
It'll
jersey.
be so
It'll be
good.
fabulous.
Oh,
Do you have
so-
the tags? The leather tags?
Do I? I do. Where did I put them? I don't know if they're in here.
So for those of you who don't know, for the past 8 years, Kat has asked me absolutely inane Canada questions as often as she can. And they are good. Like we had a group chat for a while, and this was, 2017, 2018-ish. And one of our other friends recently brought up how good the questions were in that group chat 5 years, like
Oh, here she
5.
comes.
Wow, bad math. It's not like 1 ply plus 2 ply equals 3 ply. Yeah, so 2017, 2018 brought it up, 7, 8 years later, how good the questions were. So I felt the need to get her some Canadian related tags to put in her finished objects, which she's now going to go try and find. And we will wait, and I will pet the cat. And for those of you who enjoy a little cat purr, I'm interviewing the cat.
Excellent. What does she have to say?
Purr.
I forgot to turn down the oven.
Oh,
It's
no.
supposed to heat it up at 500 until I put the bread in and then turn it down. But it still looks fine. And we have 2 more minutes.
Oh, that wafted. That smells great.
Mhm.
Amazing.
I have to write a note on this to myself. Wants to see the results. Okay, ready? Hi, baby. Yes. Here. Is that what we were doing? Were you getting some good ASMR cat noises?
Yeah, that was the goal.
Knocks everything down.
Also a good ASMR cat noise.
She got me little tags.
One of them says it has pockets.
It has pockets. This every dress I ever owned that is worth its weight. And then look at these ones. They're so cute.
They're so Canadian.
They're so Canadian. Made in Hamilton, Ontario. I like this took forever.
Some of them are very true. It
Yes.
does your set have the one that is this is the back?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have it. This is the back. Thanks, I made it. Hand wash me. It has pockets, and this took forever. And then
A.
A.
Oh no. Oh no.
See, how Canadians say EH.
Hey.
Eh? And I was just reading a romance novel that took place in New Zealand,
Yeah.
and they, instead of writing out yeah, or they were spelling it YEH. It was helping my brain
Yeah.
hear the accent.
Yeah. Sweet as. Hello. Yes, I am appreciating your butthole. Thank you.
Okay.
Things
I'm
to
running
say.
away again because now it's time to take the bread out of the oven. You're going to get a good waft.
In the interim,
Okay.
I will describe the remaining tags because
Oh, yeah.
Kat,
I got
I think,
distracted by
forgot the word for
mispronunciation.
beaver and just tried to stall on that one until I helped her out. So the other tags, there's a beaver, there's like a little evergreen, there's a moose, there's a Canadian maple leaf, and then there's the A. This cat is absolutely living their best life right now. Hello. More cat ASMR. Oh, are we gonna waft this one?
You
It's too
wanna-
hot to eat, right?
Yeah, still too hot, but you can at least you can take a look at. Ooh. I don't think you can really see the sunshine pattern,
Oh
despite my best efforts.
no, it went away.
It did.
She did score
I
a sunshine
score it with the sun, but
into
I
the
scored.
top. Scored.
Scored.
Scored it. Scored it.
Scored it. Well,
I have so much cat hair on my nose now.
yeah,
Ugh.
she's a little shitty.
It's just getting warm, so there's lots of shedding to be done.
That's true. Hi, baby.
I already told them that you are captaining your team in home team champs tomorrow.
Champs. Yay. Exciting, terrifying. I really
And the
hope
Golden
that.
skate.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. I hope it goes well. Are you going to be helping bench coach?
Yeah, for bodies.
Perfect.
I think.
That'll be so fun.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I offered and no one said no. So
Hopefully.
and people asked if I was going to be there, so I'm assuming they're planning on me being there.
Yeah. I would assume that also.
But it will be
I
fun.
hope it will be lots of fun. And then, of course, I have to work tonight. I have to work Sunday night. And tomorrow we have about. So it's my busy weekend. But no calls that I've seen so far for. Oh, will you set a timer again for
Oh, yeah.
probably like 18 minutes by now? No.
We're very scientific around here and precise.
Thanks.
There we go.
At the appropriate temperature this time. I'm a little nervous that I made the crust way too hard because I did it the wrong temp. Oh. But
Did
oh
you
well.
knock on it?
Yeah, a little.
Can you play it like the drums? A little bit.
Basically.
Yeah, it might be a bit hard.
Yeah,
If I'm
Okay.
honest, I scooped out the last one and ate mainly the insides anyway.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might happen this time too.
Yeah. It was when I was driving to Canada and I had it as like a snack and in the seat beside me. And I would just reach and I'd scoop out the inside and put it in my mouth. It was great.
I love that for you.
I had beef jerky too. So sometimes I'd wrap the beef jerky inside it and it was like a little sandwich.
Yum.
Sandwich on the go. Yeah.
Sounds delicious. All right. Anything that you have been, I don't know, stalking on the internet that you're excited about, like making wise? I know that you are working on a crochet baby blanket
Yeah. Which I'm just making up.
Yeah.
Because
because that's how you roll
that is how I roll.
most of the time.
The problem is I would love to follow patterns, but most of the time when I'm making something, I also want to be doing something else.
Mhm.
And so I can't follow a pattern at the same time as I'm like also doing something else and making something.
What sorts of other things do you usually do that?
TV,
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
audiobooks.
ditto. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
talking to people.
This is why I have multiple projects. There's the concentration project and the I don't have to think about this, which is how this sweater ended up with 4 extra inches of body. And thankfully it really worked out for me.
It hits a good height.
Yeah, it's like
I
just the
it.
right length.
Yeah, it's like just below the fullest part of your hips, I think.
I like it. I should have maybe given it a little more. I'm gonna, when I block it to get my bingo cards, I'm gonna yank the sleeves a little bit,
Stretch it a bit.
out and down. Well, part of the issue was that that rainbow sweater that I have that's acrylic, the sleeves have started to like really sag, and so they're enormous and they're long enough, which I like. But then when I'm doing stuff where I need to not get them dirty, I have to like really roll them up or just take the whole thing off, and that's really frustrating. Like this is functional for like doing stuff and getting my hands dirty and still not really messing up the sweater, and I can push it up and they just stay up, which is my ideal.
Have you ever thought about putting elastics on it?
I hadn't gotten that far, but I could. Didn't you just give me some elastic?
I probably did.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah. So that would make it a lot easier.
When in doubt, I put elastic on things.
And I haven't tried that yet.
It's a big option. But back at my parents' house, I've been working on basically just a scarf with sleeves. That like,
oh yeah,
it was advertised as you should buy this as like a finished product, and I was like, no, but I bet you I can make it. So I've been working on that for a couple of months now.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Do you have a sleeve?
Oh yeah. It's about here.
Nice.
So I want to set it up so it wraps twice and then goes down into the other sleeve, and it has thumb holes.
So that it really stays in the right spot.
Yeah.
And you'll just be so cozy.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
I'm worried I'm going to finish it and then realize like I hate wearing it.
That is
Which
entirely
is a distinct
possible.
possibility.
That happens to you.
But then I will just wear it as a scarf, I think.
Yeah. Maybe your mom will love it.
Maybe. I don't think it'll fit her arms. The sleeves are pretty tight on my arms.
Okay.
So I don't think it'll fit her arms.
Well, there goes
My
that.
mom loves anything I make, though.
That's true. She would struggle into that like you did into the dress for the Nutcracker. I can make it work. I love you so much.
Also, life hack. If you struggle yourself into a dress by yourself and then you know you're going to have to take it off when you go home, you just get someone to undo the zipper in public.
I did that. It was me. It worked out well. You got to go
Drove
home.
home with the zipper like halfway down my back.
Yeah, and then you did
was
not have to
perfect.
struggle to get it off.
No,
You
I
could have driven to the thing with the zipper half on the way.
I could have.
Yeah.
And I had a coat. I probably actually really could have.
I actually,
no one would have noticed.
the dress that I bought in Paris to marry Aaron, it was black. It's gorgeous.
I was like, we're going
was
way back.
Way back in the 2000s. In the year 2000, actually. L'an 2000.
The early aughts.
Yeah, the very first aught there was. I bought this dress, and then I gained 60 pounds while pregnant, and we got married 6 months after I had my baby, and I am not Halle Berry. So it did not take 6 weeks to get back to my previous weight.
Most people do not.
No. Well, and I had been living in a 5th floor walk up in Paris and walking everywhere. And so, no, I've never gotten back to that weight, which was
It's
really
just a
okay.
different lifestyle.
It is quite. And, new babyland is fraught with
Survival.
just sitting sometimes because that is what you can do.
Yeah.
And
Don't wake the baby.
so I had to buy a different dress when we got married, but I kept that dress because I loved it. And I wore it to my divorce with a corset over it because there was no way I was closing it.
Oh, smart.
Which
So-
seems a little mean in retrospect. I really was rubbing the salt in because
Did
I
Aaron?
was so angry. He did recognize it.
Okay.
I had
I
tried
was
it on
like-
for him.
There are lots of people who would just not even recognize that it
Mm-hmm.
was ever an important dress in any way. But
No, he knew. He knew what I was doing.
so now, several years later, between your actual wedding dress and your divorce dress,
Uh-huh.
which ones are still in your closet?
Both, I think.
Oh.
or they were. I don't know. I had both up until not that long ago. Oh, I bet they're both in. I have a zip up thing to keep the moths away. They're probably both
Oh, yeah.
lurking in there. But yeah, I think I still have both of them. Brie could fit the black dress.
Really?
Hmm. Now it's probably too big for her. Because
Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, I didn't realize you were that small.
I was
That's more.
125 or 130 pounds.
Okay.
My mom accused me of anorexia.
Oh.
I was like, not even close, Ma, but okay. Like,
An
she
active
just was worried
life.
about me because I
Yeah.
had not ever done such a thing before. And it wasn't for there, Paris doesn't really do gyms. Like that wasn't a
Yeah.
thing at the time. But I ate whatever I wanted, I drank whatever I wanted, but I had to walk everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I was
And there are
too cheap to take the taxi.
a lot of hills.
Yeah.
Paris is not a flat city.
And 5th floor walk up.
Yeah.
And the grocery store was only like a block away, but I used it sparingly. There was a boulangerie
I was like,
across
was
the
there
street.
a bakery nearby that you just,
Yes. Well, and then I lived in the bottom of the 5th. So if you ever saw the movie Amelie,
yes.
the part where the guy with the curly gray hair hears the phone booth calling to him and is like, finds the box of treasures.
Yeah.
I lived at the bottom of that street, like another 2 blocks down or something.
Oh.
And so if you walk up that road, it's a pedestrian only street called Rue Mouffetard. And at the top of that, you like take a left and you end up dumping out kind of by the Pantheon at the top of Boulevard Saint-Michel. And then you go down the hill and you've ended up right in the middle of everything by the Seine. And, it's probably a couple of miles of walking, but that was just like how I did everything.
Yeah. That was just par for the course.
And then Jackie lived next to the Louvre. So it was a pain in the butt to get there by metro because you had to do a couple different transfers. And
also, Metro has a bajillion stairs.
yeah.
Even if you are taking the Metro, you're still getting a workout.
Yep. And I did it all in high heels.
Oh, God.
I had, oh my gosh, I love them so much. I had knee-high leather boots with round toes and a big fat wooden heel, and I clacked my way through that city.
I don't
loved
think
it so
I
much.
have ever.
And now I can't wear heels to save my life, really.
I was gonna say, I think my ankles were screwed up enough that by the time I would have been like of the age of wearing heels, I was already like, nope.
Yeah, I wore 'em.
Like,
My mom loved to dress up for work.
no.
And
Maybe I had some platforms, but I don't think I had any proper heels ever.
was hanging out with Jackie, and she would wear like spike heels everywhere. She was the only reason I would ever take a taxi because she was like, I'm not walking. Well, but okay.
Then you're paying.
But what about the metro? It's right there. Just
What are
like,
you
I'm
working on?
What am I working on? Well, I'm making you some socks.
Yes. And you're blocking some stuff.
I have to block things. I just finished my bingo card, which has really been taking up most of my bandwidth. I have my AVB sweater. I have not worked on that since the last time I got on here. I finished this. That was a big deal. I got through the second in my...
Oh, have
My-
you shown anyone your loom stuff yet?
I have. So what you have seen on the internet is
Yeah.
actually like a couple of episodes behind.
Oh.
I've been ahead, which is so great. So like I don't feel comfortable starting to put out videos every week because that's not sustainable.
You don't want to set up that expectation.
I can't. I'm sorry, guys. That's a no. So I've been like, if I get a bunch of them going, then I'm starting to put them out like with 2-week gaps,
Yeah.
or a month, and because that's sustainable.
Yeah.
And so I do talk about this in the episode that will come out like next week, and then I'm pointing at my loom. You can't see it.
Yeah.
It's off stage,
It's
right
okay.
there. It is the size of a piano. You've seen it, or you will have seen it by the time this comes out. And
You're gonna have to put at the bottom whether your team won home team championships, because people are gonna want to know sooner than like a month after.
okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then, so I have finally made the second of my placemats. I don't remember how many I have planned for, but I wrote notes. That's why I write things down, because otherwise it's going too slow.
None of your bingo was on looming though.
There was something about weaving, but not nearly as much as there should be. No.
Play with blending board?
Nope, that's not it.
What is a blending board?
That
Oh,
is
weave placemats. There is something.
there. It is. See, yeah.
Yeah.
You may.
I mean, each
I
placemat
guess.
could get its own square.
I should make a different, much more involved bingo. Then. I only had 25 squares, and the point is to like push myself a little bit.
Yeah. But if Eileen's sleeve gets a square,
I know,
then it's like
because I
10 placemats.
really don't seem to want to make it. Like it, I'm torturing myself about Eileen's sweater a little bit because
Yeah.
I want it to be perfect, and nobody cares except me.
everyone else just wants it to be complete.
So I need to get over myself, which is why I gave her extra spots. Some of that stuff is going to be hard. So,
Yeah.
that was, same with the books here. Some of them were like, oh yeah, I can do that in 2 seconds. Or look,
Yeah.
I basically already did it, because I,
Yeah. It's nice to get an easy win.
so I gave myself a couple easy ones and a couple tougher ones. So I have been weaving a little bit, and I have been sock knitting, and I have not been spinning yet, although I keep thinking about it because this and the rainbow.
Taste
Both.
the rainbow. Can we call that the
Skittles commercial?
Can that become like the Skittles yarn?
Sure.
Spin the rainbow, taste the rainbow.
I'm going to end up with some of that fluff in my mouth, I think. It's pretty fly away.
Better than cat hair. Do I have to lean out of frame?
No, I can't reach anything. I'm just trying to remind myself. There we go. Do it.
Just kidding.
I bought yarn, and it's on my bingo card to swatch for the Minu cardigan, but I have to finish a different square first because that is going to be the pattern I will buy. So that's my gifts to myself is if I finish one square, which some of them are,
Yeah.
softball, like block something.
I don't know.
Just
I think
get
that's
this
probably
wet.
going to be the hardest one. That's going to be the last one left.
No. But finish your socks, for example. Then I can buy myself that pattern. Then I can have the information to cast on for swatching, gauge swatching with the stuff that I have. I haven't caked the yarn yet. So that'll be.
And you can.
And then I have to decide if I want it to be white fluff or minty green fluff to go with my neon pastels. You'll see.
Neon pastels is not
Oh yes,
a term that I thought I would hear ever in my lifetime.
I don't have the yarn in here. I would show you. It's pretty great. It's called Cosmic Tie Dye. I've been sitting on it for
Sounds so
like
good though.
4 years. It's time to use
Yeah.
it. I really want to be a little bit more like proactive about using. I have so much good yarn.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm always talking about. Right?
I did feel mildly bad that I was adding to your stash.
Yeah, but not that bad.
But no, not very bad. Mildly.
That's okay. You didn't add too much. I will use it. Well, the giraffe hat is one of the things that's on there because my sister-in-law won't give the other hat to the other nieceling until a second hat shows up.
Oh.
So now I don't know where I stuck it. That's the thing that I should take with me to work tonight if I finish the socks. It's got to be over there. I just don't remember where I put it in.
That looks like that could be cosmic tie-dye.
That is bloof. Yeah. See, this, I think I was thinking maybe these would go together, but that is much lighter.
That could definitely be a good cosmic tie-dye though. Well, I should not start investigating all your stuff.
No,
find
you
them.
don't want to? It's fun.
I
It's
do
fun over
want
there.
to is the problem.
This
This is like a treasure hunt.
treasure.
Treasure.
Wax is not a murderino. That's what we just discovered.
What's that?
Someone who listens to My Favorite Murder,
Oh.
which would not be your speed at all.
No, it is not.
Mm.
I don't have
Which
a
is,
favorite
I mean, that
murder.
explains. The only kind of horror movies I like is comic horror. So, like Zombieland.
Oh, yeah.
So, the one podcast that I listen to about true crime is comedic. It's two women being silly, but also talking about true crime.
Is that? Oh my god.
Phoebes was the one who
I'm just
recommended it
about
to me.
to embarrass the crap out of myself right now. But is that the one where they say "Stay sexy, don't get murdered"?
Yes,
Okay,
that's the one.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was a slogan from something at first. I thought the person I was talking to made it up, and they were incredibly clever.
Isn't that clever? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they came up with it off the cuff initially, which is
Yeah.
amazing. But that's how they end every show.
Oh
Stay
Yeah.
sexy.
no, I attributed it to my friend, and I was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
you're a comedic genius."
I know. Phoebes
And then it
told me
wasn't
about it.
even.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And I found it in the pandemic, and they were doing like a
Oh, that's
patchwork
important.
of their live shows.
Yeah.
Because they, for a while, were going around doing live shows too. And then, as I tend to do, I went back to the beginning and started from the beginning. And so I've left off. I used to listen to the 20-minute. They have a short version and a long version, and I would listen to the 20-minute guys on the way home because it was exactly how long my
Yep.
drive home is. And they're funny, so they keep me
Yeah.
awake. But then the longer ones are like over an hour. Hey, I don't think I've talked about that yet. My son got married. Yay! I have a new son-in-law. They're so cute.
They
They
are
were-
so cute.
They had such a good nerd party.
You were so proud of the nerds.
I was.
Wasn't that,
they're
like-
such kind people?
The after party was they went and played Magic.
Yes.
The Gathering, right?
It was Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
And AJ was like, they cleared out kind of fast. I was like, it was your wedding night. Or maybe it was Eli, but either way.
Yeah.
Whoever I was talking to, they were surprised that their friends left. And I was like, maybe they thought you were going to like do wedding night stuff. Wanted to
Wedding
give you a little
stuff.
bit of like time to do that. kind nerds that they were.
Is that like when you
It's
clean
really
the
good.
bathroom in the kitchen to get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had already done that because they were having people over.
Oh. Okay.
Oh yes.
Do we want to talk about fiber-related terms that would make good baby names?
Yes. Did you look at those? The Shetland.
I did.
They're so.
Morit?
Yep.
I think Morit would be great.
Morit and Catmogget. And, what was the one
Fawn?
that?
I mean, Fawn's just
Classic.
a very standardish name.
Mhm.
But I think even like most sheep types, like Merino,
Mhm.
could totally be.
Right. Marina is our.
Yeah. I also think if you were going to do yarn,
Cormo. Cormo's a good one.
Cormo is a good one. If you're going to do yarn, you should spell it with a J though.
Yeah. Yarn.
Yeah. So it's like
Jarl.
that's the
That's
Dutch
what I was thinking.
pronunciation. Yarn.
Or with the G. Yarn.
Garn.
That's Scandinavian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That could work.
In,
This is also
in
why-
French, it's just fil, F-I-L, which is like son. Or
Yeah.
fils.
That is why I call jammers yammers, by the way. It's because it's the Dutch pronunciation.
That explains it.
Yammers.
Yammers. Not just because it's funny.
We do have some yammers that are jammers also.
Mhm.
They are
small,
talkative.
delicious yams.
They're a talkative bunch.
Mhm.
Because you yammer on and on, right?
Yes.
That's a phrase. That's an
Yeah.
American phrase. It
That is.
happens.
Yeah, yammer.
Yeah. Yeah.
The kids these days are apparently saying yap. They
Yap.
were. Bree was telling me that she was yapping at people all night. And I was like,
Oh.
okay, that is a puppy sound
Yip,
word
yap.
to me. Yapper.
I feel like
But-
yapping was definitely a term when I was growing up. I yapped on the phone a lot.
Mm-mm.
I did.
I mean, I believe it that that's what you said. That wasn't the one that was coming out of my mouth, but I probably said chat, talk.
Chat, talk.
You know, remember it was
Normal
in
words.
in the 60s. It was like rap. We were rapping. Like
I did not know that.
they were rapping on the. Yeah, that just means talk.
My dad says shooting the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Riley used to say talking story,
Hmm.
which I think is Hawaiian.
Hmm.
I think that's where she picked it up from.
I like that.
Talking story.
Mm. I
Shooting the shirt. What else?
talk
I mean,
on the phone.
could also be, I was like, should I go look at my messages and see what other ones we came up with? I think DK could be a good short initial for someone.
Well, yeah. So
In terms of
then
the
you
name?
just have to
Like
start
Donkey Kong.
first name with
DK.
D. You've
Yeah.
already got a K for.
Oh, I do. That's
Mhm.
true. That is how my name works.
Mhm. You could do DRK and it's dark.
Dirk.
Oh, do not name your child Dirk.
Isn't that also the hero from
Dirk.
like all the Clive Cussler
Figler.
novels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirk. Yeah, I got one over there.
Do you?
Yeah, I've been trying for like years to read them, and I picked up
Go
a
do it.
couple.
I find them.
I
so,
started with Sahara, and
as a teenager, I didn't mind them. Once I got woke,
Ugh.
I hated them. Like
Oh.
they're pretty misogynist, actually.
Okay,
So
that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, it's about as far as I had gotten. Was like the male had come to rescue the female,
yep.
and I was like, but she's supposed to be like Nobel Prize smart.
Yep. Yeah.
What's
There are
happening?
lots of people who are Nobel Prize smart that have no common sense. Though.
That's fair. It wasn't really that sort of scenario.
Okay.
But whatever. And there's a movie, so I could just waste 2 hours watching Matthew McConaughey pretend to be.
That is my mom's crush, by the way.
He's great.
That is like the
Did you tell her about
Crush.
our Danish adventure with watching that weird movie?
no.
She'd probably get a kick out of that.
I never made it through. Yeah. I was trying to like go over my journal with them
Yeah.
to tell them about all the stuff that I did. And I don't think we ever made it past like a couple days because my parents get tired.
You can only take so much of your adventuring before
Yeah.
they have to go have a nap.
It stresses them out, right?
You did what?
There are heart palpitations.
Nothing.
That was a very safe trip.
Yeah, we had a great time.
I mean, we jumped in the river. But that was really like the only.
And even that wasn't that bad. I mean,
No.
you know,
It was publicly available.
We-
We didn't break in anywhere.
we bowled our way into that sauna and they were like, get out. But otherwise,
Yeah. They were so mean.
unnecessary. Yeah. But
But yeah, we didn't break in anywhere.
I mean,
We
I
were
shouldn't have smoked that hash, but otherwise,
we were fully clothed.
everything was fine.
Everything turned out
Should
okay.
have known
I thought you
better.
were dying.
I felt like I was dying. It was awful.
It was when it was like 24 hours later and you still weren't good.
I know. I kept expecting each nap to be the one that would get me back to
Yeah.
normal, and they never did. It was so bad, like just annoying. I
Yeah.
just don't. I don't enjoy struggling to survive. Like, you know, like normally I get sick and then I get better and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. But which is not to say that I do this often, but just even with like,
Yeah.
you know, viruses.
Or you just handle yourself, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not feeling great, but yes, I'm capable of procuring my own food.
Right. And this time it was just like, I need to be horizontal. Why am I alive right now?
Yeah.
And if we hadn't already gotten, you know, ourselves out of the hotel room, I should have just stayed in there. But that would have been expensive.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been any better or worse for you. You were stuck sitting next to me for a whole day. It was boring.
I basically finished my cardigan that day though.
That's good. I felt bad because it wouldn't be so bad except we wasted a day at the beginning sleeping and the day at the end where I was useless. So then it was like 2 whole days of like, we could have done stuff. And like if we had just had more caffeine and powered through in the beginning, then I wouldn't have felt as bad about the end. But I, you know, it was like,
I don't think I could power through it in the beginning.
yeah. And
I
we,
could not.
whatever, like we're not 20 anymore. It's fine.
No.
But
I also don't sleep on planes.
Ah.
Like absolutely do not sleep
I was
on
having
planes.
some trouble because I got the back row every time. And it was always like a cute little family. I was always stuck in the
so
back
then you were
with the
talking
family.
to them.
I mean, trying to befriend the child and
Yep.
not freak out the adult like I was a predator, and then also
See, this is how you would know that you're the extrovert and I'm the introvert. I don't think I've ever tried to befriend a family on a plane.
oh yeah,
No, that's not what I do.
I mean, the last plane ride I was on, the guy sat down and he started watching basketball immediately, and I was like, how's it going? You know, it's March Madness. And he looked at me, and then he very quickly like shut the phone off and made sure to touch the girl he was traveling with who's in front of him. And I was like, dude, calm down. But okay, I can ignore you. That's
I
fine.
was not going that way.
And then he put like an Ocean's 13 movie on and promptly fell asleep to it. I was like, how can you? It's
I
like,
don't understand how people can sleep on planes. I'm jealous. Is really what's going on there. But like, no. And I even
Yeah,
had
I sleep
the
on
entire
planes.
row to myself on the flight to Iceland. So that was the long flight. And the flight after that. Both of them. I had an entire row to myself. Still could not fall asleep.
You didn't want to come get me?
You were making friends.
Yeah. I was getting bopped in the elbow by every single person going to the bathroom.
I feel like I told you I had the row to myself, didn't
Did
I?
you? I don't know.
I don't know either.
You probably did.
I might not have, because
I
I
don't
thought
think
maybe it would help me sleep.
Yep, you were going to sleep.
I was trying
So
so
you-
hard to sleep.
You were being selfish, and look how it
Yeah.
worked out for you.
Yeah.
And
That
then
was my
you thought I was
karma
sleeping even when I
right
just had
there.
my eyes closed. Which, I mean, maybe I was, but sometimes I don't even know when I'm sleeping.
Yeah. It can be hard to tell.
I hate those. That
Yeah.
sort of like limbo
Or
of
like,
like, I'm not quite there, but I want to
Yeah.
be. Like,
or where
and-
all of a sudden you're like, a lot of time passed.
mhm.
I don't feel like I fell asleep at all, but I also don't feel like that much time passed.
Right. I did get a nap today, and I was starting to be like, I'm gonna run out of time, but no, I got a nap. I made it to REM sleep. I had a dream that my buddy from high school, that his wife was my patient when I went into work tonight, and they were having their third girl,
Ooh.
who was enormous. This is their first baby is 3 months younger than Chase, and I
Okay.
took Chase, the 12-pound 3-month-old, to their hospital to meet their brand new baby.
Yeah.
And she was like 6 pounds. And so it was just like the beginning of twins,
Yeah.
Danny DeVito and
Oh, yeah.
Arnold
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger, where they have the enormous child and the teeny tiny child. And that was how our kids
Yeah.
looked together. But this baby looked enormous, and I was like,
In your dream.
nice job, Lucy. Yeah.
Yeah. Shock's mom, her last kid and delivered vaginally was like 12 pounds and change.
Uh-oh. That's big. I have seen an 11-pounder delivered vaginally and unmedicated.
Yeah.
And the midwife doing the delivery was like, this is the biggest I've ever seen.
Shocked. I also found out Whoopsie went 3 weeks past term with both her kids, and they did not force her. And I was
You
so
have
impressed
to
with that.
you have to find the right provider for that.
Yeah.
My friend Whitney, I think her first baby was 2 weeks overdue, and it's delivered at home on her own birthday, which she tried to talk the kid out of. She warned her
Yeah.
repeatedly that it's not the
This
best
is not a good call.
to be a New Year's Eve baby, but
Oh, and New Year's Eve. Like, you're just going to share all your special stuff with other people from now on.
yep. And the whole world
Yeah.
is celebrating you. That's what's happening, right? Was someone knocking?
Was that knocking or was that Django?
It might have been. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have tried to come in by now. We have 3 more minutes. Oh, what else should we talk about? We can just yammer forever, can't we?
We can.
Yeah.
Yammer.
Yammer.
Yapper.
Yipper yapper.
Good luck editing this.
There will be no editing. I will put it on as is.
Oh, God, no. I'm sure that will not be great. Have you tested these mics to see how actually sensitive they are?
Yeah, I've used them before.
Okay. Because
They
I
can
was
be-
like worried as I was gulping water that it was going to be like,
We might get a good sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what I don't know is how far they go. So I don't know if I'm going to get myself like pulling a new strip of
Yeah.
the wax paper.
Well, I was trying to talk to the camera at
Yeah.
the same time.
It's gonna be like,
like
So we'll find out if hopefully they can be separated. That's the other thing.
mm.
You know, they can mute one or the other.
Oh, do you think it
I
records
haven't-
as multiple tracks?
I haven't tried with 2 microphones before.
So
Really,
it's gonna be an experiment.
this is the most massive experiment. I'm really excited about it.
And watch none of it turn out.
Better.
The only part you'll have is before we put the mics on.
Everything is ruined.
And then you'll
Well,
just have
maybe
to,
if I had just paused the video like a normal person before I went to do stuff with the bread.
like a normal person.
But I don't. I feel like I love that. What you guys don't know is that the way that I have this set up, my face is directly behind the play pause button
It is.
when I sit here. So I don't have to look at myself. If I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I can't see me.
There you go. But you also didn't, I mean, you didn't have to lean out of frame. You just got up and walked away most of the time.
That's true.
You're like,
Do,
no
do,
need
do.
to lean. I can just go.
Oh, so I think the most exciting thing about finishing the bingo card was that I could then read whatever the hell I wanted. There's no more parameters. That's why I
Can
haven't
see what
started
your
a new
options
one.
were? Or
That's
what
why I haven't
you
started a
did?
new one yet. Although what it did do for me was there were a number of squares where there were multiple options that sounded good that I wanted to read, or it was the beginning of a series. So now I want to read the rest of the series, which is the thing that I did. One of the books on there is now the first in the series that I'm reading. But then the book over on my nightstand in the TBR that I was excited about is called Curvy Girl Summer. And that was the one I wanted to read for my plus size
Yeah.
protagonist, but it wasn't available yet. And I just got it from the library earlier this week. And I had already read something else, which the book that I did read was really cute. It was, I wish it was talking about a reality show that does like a makeover for a plus sized person. And I wish that that really existed. It sounds great. You know, helping people wear clothes that are flattering and they feel good in.
I totally stopped listening to you because I started reading which ones were which.
I do that.
Yeah.
You were the George that time. Good job.
George.
Do you want a single color toe or do you want more of the rainbow?
Oh.
That time has come. Maybe I'll pause it this time. We'll see if that goes better.
Okay.
That's great. I love that for us. Which one? Wait, let's see. Look at this beauty.
Oh, we're about to get all sorts of crumbs. Ooh.
Yeah, you want that one. You get the maximum cheese one.
Bonus cheese. I don't want all the crumbs though.
Oh, wow. That's what dogs and vacuum cleaners are for. Listen to the crunch.
What did you do on your YouTube debut? I
Ate bread. Well, I'm getting pretty good at it, so I don't mind sharing.
Mm. Have you seen the thing that's been like popping up all over the internet about the sourdough hotel in
Mm-mm.
Sweden?
Mm-mm.
Really? I had assumed you'd seen it, so I never sent it to you.
Oh,
Apparently, there's a hotel where you can leave your starters when you go on vacation.
oh my God, I love that.
Yeah. So it's a
I
sourdough
thought the hotel was going to be made out of sourdough.
I would also love that. The upkeep would be horrible.
Mhm.
Oh, and the rodents and
Too literal.
maybe not tenable.
Mm.
Ice hotels are a thing though.
Mhm.
Also probably in Sweden, amongst other places.
Mm-hmm. That was one of the books I found when I was looking around for stuff. It's called A History of Sweden. I'm going to read that one of these days. Probably.
And 1,000 things to do in the cities before you die.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the Swedes,
Mm-hmm.
so many of them came here. What do you think? Did you get to some of the good stuff yet?
Mm-hmm. I got some pepper in my mouth right now. You're right. It is not as spicy as jalapeno.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Good flavor.
It is. So the bingo card, did they have to be romance books or could they just be any books
I
that
wasn't
fit
sure.
the category?
There's not a lot of like specifics, but it is from a
Yeah.
romance novel bookstore. I
Yeah.
also felt sort of like I was cheating by not buying all the books that I used to.
Oh,
know what I mean?
I don't think so.
No.
They have such good vibes there.
Hmm.
I feel like they would just be stoked that you were reading, and chances are you'll buy some of the books. Not to mention, if you're going to get 20% off, you're
7.
definitely going to be buying stuff there
Yeah.
with the 20% off,
Mhm.
right?
I've purchased 7 books from them so far, and I used as many of them as I could on this.
See, so you're fine.
Hmm.
I do not buy books.
Hmm.
I don't buy a lot of things.
I know, I'm proud of you.
We're like the exact opposite
Except-
that way.
Except,
I buy gifts. Gift giving is my love language,
It's a good one.
but I'm better at it than a lot of other people.
Is that a dig at me?
No,
Okay.
no, that was a dig at expired car seats.
Oh, I probably.
Today's hot tip, if you're going to gift something to someone and it's safety related,
Not expired.
not expired, make sure you know if it's been in an accident.
Oh my god. Oh.
Make sure that it's, age appropriate
Right.
also,
the correct size.
and can be used where the person is going to be.
Mm.
So you cannot use, for the most part, American car seats in Canada.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
good for them. What about if you get fancy European ones, but you bought it in America? I mean,
It
the
has to do
US.
with it being stamped.
Mm.
So the tests that they use yes, I did a lot of research into this too,
I know you're good at this.
rather
this
than
kind of
Mr. Dress
research.
Up. Yeah. The tests they use are slightly different. And so just because it passes the American test doesn't mean it would pass the Canadian test, and vice versa, to be clear. It's not like one is necessarily a better standard. They're just slightly different. So you have to have a car seat that's stamped for use in Canada to use in Canada. And if it's beyond a certain number of years old, you literally can't even import it. So like I couldn't bring that car seat into Canada even if I wanted to.
Oh boy.
And it's illegal to put your kid in it then.
Yeah.
So it's like demerit points off your license and a fine if you put your kid in it. I'm learning all sorts of interesting things.
You guys use literal demerits? I love that.
You get 2 demerit points.
How many demerits before you lose your license?
I think it's 9.
That's not very many.
No. And there's some stuff that's like automatic.
Is it like minor penalties? Can you get
You
quarters of a
send
point?
4 to no, I don't think so. But there's some stuff where like if you're going more than 50 kilometers over the speed limit, your car is automatically taken away and it's an automatic suspension of your
Ooh.
license.
But it's so fun to go fast.
50 kilometers over is a lot though.
Yeah. Right.
For people who don't want to do the translation, like top speeds on roads in Canada are 100 kilometers to 110. So going 50 kilometers over means you're going like half again over what the actual
Whoop.
maximum speed is.
Right. Well, what's the math on that too? A kilometer is 2.2 miles?
2.2 or 2.6.
Okay.
So 60 miles is about 100 kilometers. So 30 miles. If you're going 30 miles an hour over the speed limit,
Yeah, it's probably similar here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
it's to prevent road racing.
No fun at all.
No. You have to do the windy roads where you can stay below the maximum speed limit, but it's still a challenge.
Spoken like someone who has done it.
I've totaled the car that way.
No.
No, not well. Yes,
Not while racing.
I wasn't racing. I was below the maximum speed limit, but it was a very windy road, and I hit wet leaves, and I went into the side of a cliff,
Oh God.
which is better than going off of the side of the cliff.
I'm very glad you
To be
did not
clear.
go off
Mhm.
the side of a cliff.
I chose the
We would
correct
not
direction
be-
there,
Having this
No.
conversation.
but the car was a write-off.
Man, oh man. What else? What else can we talk about before I have to go
Everything.
to work? I know, everything forever. I'm so glad you could come today
Me
and be a
too.
part of my shenanigans.
I was so sad thinking that I wasn't going to be able to do it. Also, it turns out part of me being like such a homebody was that the cats were there.
Mm-hmm. Now you're like, why bother?
Yeah, because now that the cats aren't there and there's no TV, and like I could watch things on my laptop, but there's not really much there. I'm like, I should go out and do things.
Mm-hmm.
I should do this. I should do that.
Where before it was like, the cats will be lonely without me.
Yeah, I could just sit on my couch and cuddle the cats all night, and that would be great. And it was great.
It sure was.
And I will do it again.
very soon.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hang out with your mom and dad at the same time.
Hopefully soon. There's a big storm brewing for Sunday.
Yeah, I heard. Are you? And that's when you're supposed to drive back.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Are you thinking that you will wait then, or
I have the junk guys coming Sunday morning,
okay?
so I won't have a bed anymore at that point.
Oh,
So I think I'm at least going to try and make Chicago and
Okay.
see from there if it looks like it's going to be horrible or not.
okay.
So, and if it is, I'll probably just rent a room somewhere, spend the night, and then do the other half the next day. It's a long drive for 1 day period.
Yeah.
So splitting it up over 2 days isn't the worst thing ever. What are the flowers of evil, though? Because I've been reading that title.
Les Fleurs du Mal. It is a book of poetry. My mom gave me that. That book is from the 1920s. And the book on top of it is what my grandma's great uncle emigrated here with.
Oh, wow.
And it's from the 1760s or something. It's Austrian. I don't read
So-
German. I tried to get my sister-in-law to look at it because my ex and his sisters went to a German immersion school.
Have you tried holding up like the Google Translate phone
Uh,
over?
I don't think that I
Is
have.
it old enough that it wouldn't work?
It's been a while. So Google Translate has probably
gotten better.
smarter. But
Mhm.
I think the last time I tried it, the typeface was like too much for it.
Oh, mm-hmm.
But it might be better now. I haven't tried it again. Baudelaire, Les Fleurs du Mal. I think it's Baudelaire. But he's also, is he just a writer or is he also a musician? No, I'm getting confused because there is a CD, an album I listened to in the 90s that heavily referenced Baudelaire. But Baudelaire is a poet.
Yep.
But then it was,
That was my
This-
understanding.
the CD was also a lot about Claude Debussy, who was a
Mhm.
musician, and so I'm conflating the
Mhm.
two. But it's a poetry book.
I also think if any of you viewers out there have ideas for fiber-related child names, you should definitely put them in the comments below.
Yes.
Mhm.
For maximum hilarity, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Maximal enjoyment.
If you can also make it so that the child whose last
Ooh.
initial will start with K
Yeah.
can be DK,
That works too.
short form.
Or cheese-related ones. I would appreciate some cheese-related names as
Well,
well.
almost all cheeses are like named after their region. So what
Yeah.
region do you like? You know, or else they're bleu à cause du
No.
couleur.
I don't.
You don't.
Chèvre.
Chèvre. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's a type of goat.
But do you think it'd be weird to call
Delicious.
my
Do you enjoy?
kids are
saying-
goats?
Yeah.
Goats are kids. Could be a thing.
So many puns.
That poor child.
They're in trouble anyway.
Fact.
It's gonna be so great.
In this house, we appreciate puns
Mm-hmm.
and cheese.
Cheese.
You just call a kid
What
Asiago.
about like Dorcas?
No, absolutely not.
Uh,
I'm not that cruel.
Colby cheese. Kobe used to get that crap
Yeah.
in elementary school all the time. And actually, Chase has a kid in his kindergarten right now named Colby.
Yeah, that's a pretty common. That's not an atypical name.
No.
If we went back to Dutch, it could be Houda
There you go.
for Gouda.
Houda.
Houda. I'm not pronouncing it right. I'm sorry to all the Dutch people out there. It's more of like a hech noise.
Yeah.
For G's.
Like Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Except I can't do it either. but-
Yeah. I have like way too much bread in my mouth.
But it's so delicious.
It is so delicious. I'm impressed with how quickly you ate that.
I like bread.
I'm still going.
I do everything fast. Eating.
I'm an only child. You can tell.
I had other stuff to do.
8 hours later, still eating. No one
We
has
will
taken the
sit
food from
here until you have finished your meal. Sounds good to me.
me.
What else we got to do tonight, Ma? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think we should probably sign off
Mm-hmm.
now that your mouth is full.
You should
Uh,
sign off. I should sit here and look like a chipmunk.
You're adorable. Thanks so much for coming to hang out with us today. We appreciate you enjoying our banter. We'll see you again. I look forward to having you back on the show. Bye, friends.